Since you clicked on this video, I'm gonna assume that you really want to go travel, but maybe you're not 100% convinced you can do it, or you don't know if now is the right time. If that's the case, then let this video be the sign that you should go and that now is the perfect time to do so. I truly believe that traveling can teach you so much about so many different things, and I always loved traveling. Right after I finished high school, I went to work and travel in New Zealand for around 1 year, and then I studied abroad for 1 semester in Canada, and now I've been living for around 2 years in South Korea, making my master degree here. So as you can probably tell, I really love going abroad, living abroad, traveling, and getting to know all kinds of different parts of the world. And this video is to show you why I think traveling is so important and why now is the best time for you to do the same. Ever since I was in high school, whenever I talk to people, most of the time people are interested in traveling and they want to see different countries. But the one thing I hear the most is that people say they are going to do it later, because for some reason we believe that doing it later will make it easier. But I think that's really not the case. I actually think the longer you wait, the harder it gets to actually go and travel and live abroad for longer than just a vacation. And the biggest reason for that is that I think when you're young, you have very different standards for what you can live with. Like, for example, when I went to New Zealand, I booked a flight to there for 30 hours because it had 2 stops of like 8 and 10 hours in between, because it was a little bit cheaper than the flight was just 1 4-hour stop in between. Or I would sleep with 6 different people in a hostel bed and I did not care. And that makes traveling so much easier over a long period of time, because all those things add up to quite a lot of money. So if you want to travel cheaply and long, then being young is the best time to do it. Because of course you can also go travel later, but the things you want to do and the way you want to experience travel also usually changes a bit. So I still love traveling, but I think I have different things I would look out for and spend money on now. For example, I would probably just book a bus ticket for 30 or 40 bucks instead of doing hitchhiking and waiting 1 or 2 hours on the side of the street for someone to pick me up who's going in the same direction, which I did when I was younger. And also looking back, you're a little bit less scared, I think, when you're younger. I'm not quite sure if that's a good thing. Always be careful with whatever you're doing out there. But those were some of the best experiences I had, and like some of this readiness while you're young to just go and explore and have an adventure over comfort, I think really adds so much to the traveling experience and the things you pick up and learn along the way. And then I also think the longer you wait to travel, the more likely it is you're just not gonna do it, because you just get used to the life you have. You maybe have a stable job and a stable income, and it's really hard to let go of all of that. The most people that I know who go traveling more long term, who take a break from their job or like even quit to go traveling, those usually are people who also went traveling when they were younger, so they already got addicted to it. The more you travel, the more you want to keep traveling, because you get to experience how great it is. Of course, maybe it's not for everyone. Maybe. But I think most people will fall in love with traveling once they start doing so. Now, one of the biggest reasons why people want to travel later, I think, is obviously money. And while I do think you can travel really cheaply, and that's what I did, you do yourself a favor if you save up a little bit of money beforehand. Or depending on where you want to go, you have to save up a little bit of money beforehand, because things like a plane ticket or insurance, things like that, where you just have to pay those expenses. But while you're traveling, there are so many ways how you can travel very, very affordably. For example, when I arrived in New Zealand, for the first 2 weeks, I stayed at an alpaca farm, and it was one of those stays where you work for a couple hours a day. I think it was like 4 or 5 hours a day, and in exchange, you can stay there for free, and you also get the meals for free. In this time frame, you don't pay any money, and that is enough time for you to look for a job, something you can do there. I did a lot of working in hostels. I worked at a reception, which was a paid job at the hostel. I found an internship, which was really, really great, because that was like in filmmaking, which was what I wanted to do later on. But I also did a lot of odd jobs, like working on vineyards, which was like the most physical, draining job I've ever done in my life, and I don't want to do that again. I picked blueberries for like 12 hours a day, and those are all experiences I would have never had back home. So while trying to figure out how you can survive on a small budget really gives you so much life experience. One other really great advantage of this low budget traveling is that most likely you are going to stay in hostels because it is the most affordable option. Is that even if you just go to one country, in those hostels you will meet people from all over the world, and you will get so many different perspectives and opinions and values, and it's just so much great potential for really awesome and valuable conversations you can have with those people. And then you also learn how to make friends, because if you arrive in a hostel all by yourself and there's maybe already groups, and you have to find a way to include yourself in those groups. If you're an introvert, you're really going to learn to lean a little bit more into being an extrovert and approaching people, and that's such a good life skill to have in general. Most people when you're traveling are super welcoming and super open, and it's also a very interesting experience because you're going to meet people you click with immediately, and you only know each other for a couple of days, but it feels like you've been lifelong friends. But then one day you will go into different directions because you have different goals for your traveling or different cities you want to explore, and then yeah, people and friends, they come really quickly and then they go really quickly, and they were just companions and friends for a short period of time, which I don't think makes it any less valuable, but it's just, yeah, such an interesting experience to connect to so many people and then also let go of those connections in a sense, or learn how to hold on with them even if you're not in the same country, maybe even not the same continent. And then last but not least, why I think that it's never too early to go traveling is that I truly believe traveling is one of the best ways for you to get to know yourself and to build your confidence. While traveling is so much fun, there will be problems, there will be moments where things are difficult and where there are issues, and then you really, at the end of the day, if you go traveling alone, only have yourself to fix them. You learn a lot about how to solve issues, how to trust yourself to solve those issues, and that will give you so much confidence for the rest of your life. Because now, whenever there's a problem, there's also like, I traveled for 1 year alone in New Zealand when I was 18. I think I'll manage. Whatever it is, I'll figure it out somehow. You learn to keep calm, because I don't think I've ever been in a situation where no matter how stressful it was or how bad it was, I don't think panic ever made anything better. And moments like these really teach you to keep calm, and if you do that, you will find a solution somehow most of the time. And of course you will also have moments like that if you don't go travel. I'm not saying traveling is the only way how you can grow your character. That's absolutely not true, and everybody knows that. But I do think that traveling kind of amplifies those problems, or like you have more problems in a short amount of time and therefore more growth. And if you're now like, okay, but sleeping in a room with 6 different people is not really for me, I get it. It's not for everyone, I guess. I think it's a lot of fun, or it used to be when I was younger. There are so many different forms of traveling. What I talked about the most today is like backpacking, work and travel kind of thing. That's definitely the like most low budget form of traveling I can think of, but there are many different ways to do that as well. For example, like what I'm doing right now, I study abroad in a different country, and that's actually the cheapest way to do it because I'm here on a scholarship, so it really doesn't cost me any money, which that's the best way to travel, I guess. You can also just find a job abroad, like then it's not necessarily traveling across a country, but traveling to a different country and living there and living somewhere for a longer period of time. I prefer that kind of traveling over going to a new city every 2 days anyways. There's really, I think, a form of travel for everyone. The more I talk about it, I just really want to go out there and travel again, I think. Even though I live abroad right now, but it's been 2 years, so it almost feels not like traveling anymore. So I really have to go out there. I do want to go to like some other countries in Asia. I think I want to go to Japan, maybe Thailand, maybe Philippines. If you have any recommendations, leave them down in the comments. And yeah, wherever your first or next travel goals are, I wish you the best of fun. It's going to be such an amazing time and you're going to learn a lot. And with that, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Bye bye.